Welcome to another edition of Depth of Field. My name is Eric. Welcome to our show where we talk a lot about movies and movie-adjacent stuff and videos and humor. And I have two very special guests with me this week. Two old friends of mine, or I should say friends who date back from...
Yeah, we're not that old yet.
Not that old.
Yeah, you're 30...
31.
31. Yeah, nice try, bud.
27.
Nice try. Oh my, he's going for more. He got greedy.
Well, he has that boyish glow.
Yeah.
I don't know if you can do a close-up, but I'm looking really close here. There's some white hairs here.
So this is Dan Haber. This is Matt Silver. I've known you guys for maybe 2 decades by now. Think about that.
Time she passes.
Yeah.
And you guys met originally, you worked together as members of the comedy troupe Kidnapper Films.
Right.
Yeah.
Which anyone who grew up in Montreal you guys are sort of legendary in this town.
If you were Anglo...
I like to think anyone who grew up in this town.
Right.
So
Okay.
I like to go all the way back to the 17th or 18th century.
Right.
The Irish immigrants who maybe came up and said, Kidnapper Films.
Yeah.
We did some sketch comedy for about a good almost a decade.
Yeah.
And this was before sketch. I mean, I think
we invented
Kids in the
sketch
Hall,
comedy.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, no.
Kids in the Hall came after you guys. That was big at that time. But there wasn't a lot of the comedy scene in Montreal or
Definitely
even
has
Canada was
grown.
not that robust at that time.
It was much different at that time. There was a scene. There was an independent stand-up scene in Toronto that we sort of connected with a lot. At the Drake, they had this Drake Underground.
Oh, sure, I remember.
Yeah,
you guys
so we used to connect with Toronto through that. But in Montreal, to do sort of weird conceptual comedy, there weren't a lot of people. There was us, and there was another troupe called Automatic Vaudeville.
Right.
And we had like a friendly rivalry with those guys. Became good friends of ours, and we spent a lot of good time with them. But comedy in Montreal at that time in the early 2000s was pretty there were some great talents out there. Great talents. But it was not like how it is now, where that you have all these people doing all kinds of weird, cool stuff in all kinds of different venues. It was really just like the Works or the Nest if you were in comedy.
Right, exactly. It was stand-up. The idea of conceptual comedy was, that's what you guys were doing. How would you describe the Kidnapper film approach or
People with mommy-daddy issues.
Yeah, that's always
funny. No.
Yeah, that was always the stock answer. We were just I think the idea, we just liked people who were very weak. We liked looking at we thought that...
who doesn't, right?
We thought that men who were weak were hilarious.
Okay.
So everything that we did, we just tried to tell a story of a weak man who is being
And that's what we've grown into.
Yeah, and it's, you know what? Life imitates art.
Right, exactly.
You talk about weak men all the time, you can't help.
Yeah.
But both of you continued in comedy. I mean, you also appeared in the series The Business, which became The Festival.
It was the other way around. It was the festival, and then it turned into The Business.
And that was, it was kind of like The Office meets film festival scene. And this was on Showcase.
That was on IFC.
IFC, that's right.
Yeah, that was an early IFC series. That was Films that did that. Phil Price, who had done a couple movies, Hatley High, and then Prom Wars was another one. So that was his series, which, it was crazy. It was with, what's her name from 90210? Kathleen Robertson.
Right, and Rob DeLeo, good friend of mine.
Rob DeLeo, good man.
Who we should get on the show. If you're watching, Rob.
Rob,
hey,
we need
Rob.
you.
You remember me?
You can come right now. You still have time.
I think he's in BC, right? He's in Vancouver?
No, he's in Toronto.
Oh, he's in Toronto?
Yeah, exactly.
Congratulations.
Love and life.
Love and life.
And you've written, you were also involved with KK Downey, right?
Yeah, so we, Kidnapper evolved into this movie, this feature film, because at the time we thought, if you're in sketch, you're always working towards, you always want to be having a feature on the go. We kind of modeled it after Brain Candy, something that was just like a bunch of sketches that we squashed together into a movie. I worked on that. Dan Haber was the titular character.
Yeah.
He's KK Downey when it really comes down to it.
And apparently,
for everyone.
Breaking news, there's a KK2.
It's in the works.
It's in the horizon. It's on the works. It's in the works.
It's on the horizon.
Matt,
it's on the works.
Yeah. Is that what I said?
It's on the. No, I'm saying it.
Oh, it's on the works.
It's in the horizon.
Yeah, Matt just wrote the latest draft. Actually,
I did actually. I just finished it the other day.
Right.
It was a daunting task.
Yeah.
It was an unpleasant job.
What can you tell us about?
Ah.
Because KK was about. I mean, well, how would you even describe KK in the first place?
KK was a take on a literary hoax that we based off of the JT Leroy scandal. That was like directly where it came from.
Okay.
We had seen that whole scandal unfold and we were like, this is hilarious, because it was sort of an early form of the internet that had bought into this iconic art scene character, and everybody went crazy, and he wrote the liner notes to a Madonna album or Smashing Pumpkins album or whatever. Gus Van Sant came out, like co-wrote one of his movies with him or something like that. And it turned out it didn't exist.
Right.
It was like a child psychologist or a social worker.
Oh, is this the guy that Oprah even got duped?
No, that's James Frey.
Okay, right. Exactly.
But it's a similar thing. This was a little bit more raunchy.
Yeah.
It's a little bit more sex and violence. So we did that. So we just did a real stupid version of that story with lots of fart jokes and fake barf and all that stuff.
Yeah,
Right?
nothing's changed.
Yeah, right. This new one
Has nothing to do with
has
the original.
nothing to do with the original, except it's the same characters in a different situation.
Right.
And it's playing on more contemporary things, has to do with certain media celebs being taken down by various movements.
Or
interesting.
criminal acts.
Or criminal acts.
Really? So this
movements.
is very much of the age. This is the.
We're trying to do the same thing that we did back then in the early days
Right.
of the internet and MySpace and early Facebook, and we're trying to do something that maybe speaks to where we're at the moment in
And
terms
so
of.
by the time it's actually made, it will be completely irrelevant.
By that time, it will just be brains floating around in sort of an AI like aqua tank, or
Right,
something,
like Terminator
right?
5.
Yeah, something like that.
Speaking of AI, by the way, I really want to talk about AI after.
Perfect.
I didn't even,
That's our specialty.
I didn't
great.
even mention that because tomorrow, I don't know if you know this, Montreal is the hub.
Yeah.
It's the world hub of AI research.
Where I live is actually the hub, like Little Italy.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
That's the hub.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
is it-
like a Mile X,
Starting tomorrow,
Mile AIX.
there is the World Summit AI Americas, and all of the luminaries from the AI world are coming. They're descending on Montreal, and it's all led by this guy. I don't know if you heard about him, Yoshua Bengio. He's this researcher at University of Montreal, and he just won the Turing Award.
Oh, wow, okay.
For his research in AI, and he's trying to use AI for good. And I think at this conference they're really going to be talking a lot about ethics in AI, because I think we often don't even realize how much AI is a part of our lives.
Yeah.
Yeah, already, yeah.
And it's just.
I mean,
gonna become
Matt's
that much-
entirely using it for.
I'm not even here. I'm not
just
even
a
here.
hologram.
No, I have not. I haven't been. I died in the early 90s.
Well-
Terrible bicycle accident.
Yeah.
But my parents invested very deeply in AI, and actually, I guess you're outing me right now, Dan.
my shoes are kind of AI. I don't even. The laces are already done. I just pull them on and off.
I don't think you have a good sense of what AI.
I think there's a lot of AI going on up here.
But I'm very excited because all of the people are going to be there tomorrow. So I'm going to report back next week. By the way, I'm going to be talking
Right.
all about what I learned.
My prediction with AI is that robots are just going to be like, well, we're just going to stop doing everything.
Right.
Like they're just
gonna
like,
get lazy.
wait a minute, we've concluded that we're just not going to do anything. Like,
Right, when
what-
they do, because the computations are like, so we received this in order to
Yeah.
make your life better, and then you guys pay each other with money,
Right.
which is essentially just a made-up
They're just like,
artifact
what's
of
the
human
point?
civilization.
Yeah.
So if we do nothing, nothing happens.
How does that affect our lives?
in no way
If we do
affects
it, what happens? Nothing. If we don't do it, what happens to our lives? Nothing. It's going to seize all operations.
You're really getting an interior image of how our brains work if we think that that's like
Yeah.
how all computers, if we're just projecting the personality of computers, they're like, who gives a shit? Who
But
cares?
I mean, if a computer is going to outsmart a human, he's going to be like, I'm not doing it.
Yeah, right.
They say.
So it's going to be a cat, basically.
Yeah. He'll knock a few things off the table here and there, but
No, I don't buy in.
right.
Are you still very much a cat guy?
I am.
How many cats do you have?
Well, actually, one of my cats, RIP, died about 2 weeks
Oh
ago.
man, I'm sorry.
Okay, well, let's just cut it. I'm gonna get up now. I'm a cat guy, but yes, my cat Frankie, who I can't believe I'm talking about on live internet.
Live internet, that's what it's for.
He had a good life, but we had to say goodbye. And so I just have one cat who is taking over as now the #1 most annoying cat.
Right.
Well, So I remember coming to your place way back in the day, and you had built like one of those like
Yeah.
Rube. What are they called?
Well, I
Rube Goldberg.
Rube Goldberg
as a
machines
cat
for your
shack.
food. Right.
Yeah, well, I don't know. I guess I was very bored and had a lot of time.
That was
on my hands.
That was a beautiful piece.
I actually built two of them.
No, you talked about doing it for other people.
I did. I built one for another. Well, I aided someone. I helped someone else build one.
Just as sort of like a
Kinds of interesting
consultant.
businesses. Wasn't there
a Booze de la.
The Booze de la.
For some of you out there, Booze de la. I don't know if you remember the Music Plus show, Booze de la. So
I was actually talking about this the other day, just an aside. I said, it's called, this is the best thing about it. It's called Booze de la. The people are like, what? I don't understand what the reference is.
most people won't get that now.
Booze de la was like Electric Circus.
Oh yeah, sorry.
Electric Circus, which was on Much Music, and it was like the French, like people would
Yeah,
dance.
well, Music Plus was
the French.
Booze de la.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And then so Booze de la.
So
Anyways,
Booze de la was an after-hours booze delivery, which I'm still thinking about owning. Instagram, Booze de la, check it out.
It's very illegal.
So now, speaking of you being bored, you've kept yourself busy. Yourself and Adrian.
Adrian Burhop.
Adrian Burhop. You guys have a series of videos that you guys have been making.
Yes.
That I can only describe as, I guess you're paying homage to some of the most iconic, maybe underappreciated places in Montreal by making VHS-style 80s-looking commercials to promote these places.
Basically like kind of fake ads for them that people won't really know were these ads made in the 70s, 80s, early 90s, or, we're trying to kind of confuse the audience a bit. But yeah, and I guess paying homage to like these iconic Montreal institutions that are still around and still like as popular or like doing as well as ever, if not better now.
Well, exactly. I'm wondering how much of a bump that Alvin House has now gotten.
I would say they probably got about 6 or 7 clients out of us.
I took him for his first time to Alvin House.
That's true.
Okay, so I've driven past it a million times. I've never been to it. Why don't we see the commercial that you and Adrian put together, and you can tell us what goes into making one of these. But here, let's have a look. So, Julian, if you could cue up the Alvin House commercial. And speaking of Julian, by the way, if you guys watching are familiar with our friend Julian, he was in KK Downing.
Right.
Julian was an extra in the background of KK Downing, so
we were
it all
basically
comes full circle. Are we ready to go? Yeah. All right, so this is Alvin House, the commercial.
Never seen it.
Alvin House. Alvin House. After a big day on the slopes, come on down to Alvin House for some après-ski good times. Lively bar atmosphere. Ladies' night every night. Exciting dance floor, open late. Two-for-one shrimp cocktail. Live pianists on weekends. And enjoy the classic Swiss fondue. That's Alvin House. Alvin House, since 1967.
Superimposition.
Right.
Beautiful, absolutely beautiful. So first of all, how's the food?
Great.
Yeah?
It's good. Yeah, if you like cheese.
Do you like cheese?
I love cheese.
Do you like fondue?
I love
Do you
fondue.
like escargot?
Yeah,
they do escargot.
yeah. You mentioned the escargot. It's like happy hour escargot. Like,
I mean, there's no real truthfulness to the ad. There's nothing in there that's actually.
But
truthful.
I'm gonna
it's not a real ad.
I want to tell you something. Like this is important to know. They've been making the same, like their level of alcohol. Like they're using sort of 1962 recipe books for their cocktails. So when you order a cocktail, it's not like some like 20-year-olds making a cocktail. It's a 70-year-old man who's free pouring gin or whiskey into your cocktail.
So you will literally get gin and tonic.
Yeah. You get a bottle of gin and a bottle of tonic. And so it'll come and you're like, because it was just like an ad guy place.
Yeah.
You know, it was like guys in advertising.
Really?
That's where it came from.
Yeah.
So this is like
was
Montreal's Mad
Yeah,
Men.
that's exactly what it was.
It
had
was a
no
very
windows.
cool
There's
place.
no windows. So if you go in there for a liquid lunch or whatever, you could leave at like midnight. You'd have no idea. And you're like entertaining some guy from New York and you're like getting the fondue and having martinis.
It was like a hot spot. It was like the place to go.
And a roaring fire, a real wood burning fire.
which
lit
is
it.
illegal these days.
Yeah,
Right.
And they might be grandfathered. I'm not sure.
No, I don't even think that matters.
Well, we have a couple of comments. So when Dizzle27 is crying, laughing
They're
face.
crying.
Great.
Okay.
And Artemis says groovy, or I should say rad. It is pretty rad. So, I mean, okay.
Yes.
First of all, Adrian, we were talking about Adrian, who he's not here to speak for himself.
He's
but,
definitely a major force in this. He's might be the engine behind all of these.
right. And so, and you film it with, like, tell me about the technical side. You guys are filming with like an old VHS
It's an actual
camera.
VHS camera. What is it called? I don't know, like the Panasonic Reporter 410 or something.
And you have a killer DOP who's using old equipment, right?
Right. Well, our DOPs actually have changed. Like, we don't necessarily use, like, sometimes I'll even shoot some stuff depending on if I'm in the scene or not. I mean, I'm not going to get into it, but we were shooting the original ads that we did. We had a guy, his name is Matt Rasick, who used to shoot our stuff and edit our stuff. We had a bit of a creative disagreements, so we don't work together anymore. But he used to be our guy. But now we've gone through a few guys. I mean, I'm not going to name them, I guess. But yeah, I don't know if I answered your question. I probably didn't.
But
Well,
Darren Curtis is shot.
Darren Curtis
Darren
is
Curtis
shot.
has
Who
been
was
on
one
the
of our
show.
previous
Friend of the
guests.
show. Friend of the
Yeah.
show.
Friend of the show.
Friend of the show.
We've had, in the past few ones, we probably had 3 or 4 different DOPs. The camera's not that complicated.
Right.
It's like zoom in, zoom out, record. That's it.
But it's the makeup and the hair and it's the details that really make these.
Well, we have a makeup artist that we work with, Caroline Magelet, who she's been working with us since the beginning. So yeah, we get our hair and makeup done.
And I mean, I even noticed Adrian's, the raccoon.
Right, I had it too. I guess you couldn't notice as much, but yeah, that was like something specific that we asked for. Like, I mean, Adrian and I really conceive of everything, and then we get a team together to execute it. I mean, ideally, we'd like to have a bigger team and be able to do bigger things, but it's hard when your budget is like minus $550.
You have and it's not like these are making money for you guys.
It literally costs us.
What's your revenue?
Right now, I think Adrian's at about minus 850, and I'm probably minus 500 because he gets more wigs than I do.
Right.
And those wigs are not cheap.
Those are top quality
Those,
wigs.
and he does buy. We rent them, and they're like anywhere from $100 to $200 for a day. Oh yeah, those are. I forget the guy's last name, but the wig guy, his name is Denis.
Oh, and
So
you always
Denis,
go
wig. So this is a shout out for Denis, the wig guy.
Yeah, but you know what?
If you need a wig,
he's never given us a deal, so I don't feel like I really.
if
need
you
to
need a
plug
wig in the province of Quebec, go to Denis.
Denis.
We don't know his number.
Adrian may be watching right now. He's like yelling out his name, but again, the guy's never given us a deal. He has great wigs.
Well, maybe you should do a commercial for Denis.
No, there's an idea.
In fact, how do you come up with the places that you guys are gonna...
I'll be honest with you. I would say Adrian often thinks of the place. Like we work really well as a team. Like we bounce ideas. Like I'm really good at like generating jokes and whatnot. But he usually comes to me with an idea of like, let's do this place, and then right then the ball just starts rolling. Like if we're both feeling it, then we just kind of bounce off each other.
I want to see another one, which is, this one's not really a commercial. This is a takeoff on those old NFB.
Well,
National
where
Film
things
Board.
end up and where things started are always like it really is a crapshoot because we might go into something with an idea, but where it actually ends up and what it ends up being, we don't know. Like, for instance, this one.
This is the hippie Mount Royal thing, by the way.
Right.
Yeah.
The original concept was as if we were making like a Tourism Montréal ad for the Tam Tams.
Mm-hmm. We should explain, because
sure.
there's some people out there who don't live in Montreal. Not everyone lives in Montreal. The Tam Tams is this, like, if Montreal had a beach, that would be
a beach full of dirty hippies.
Hippies playing drums.
I mean, it'd be a bad beach.
Yeah.
The beach
it would be wrecked,
like,
basically.
It would be like a beach where you'd be like, no, I don't want to go to
It'd be the beach where like you lay your head down, there's like 10 cigarette butts by your head.
And a couple of syringes.
Used prophylactics.
Yeah.
Right.
I think
But
that's
it's
the word
a
you use.
gathering of hippies and drummers and
Right.
LARPs, actually.
Yeah, oh yeah.
That is where the inspiration for
Hacky
LARPs.
sackers.
Yeah.
It's a
Vendors.
special place. It's a place for people in their 19 to 20s.
Yeah.
Like, it really is. Like, I remember I'd go to meet Dan there, and
Yeah.
like we'd be like, it'd be the summer between CEGEP and university, and I'd talk to somebody like, hey, we're at the Thames, man, like, come. And Dan actually was a prolific hacky sacker back in the day.
Yeah,
Pretty
that's
good.
awesome.
And it would be
could see
like
that, yeah.
literally like a dream of what 19 is going to feel like when you're 18.
Right.
Like, it's just like giant spliffs and like hacky sacking and Dan used to have dreadlocks with little like stones at the end.
No, I never had that. I never had that.
Oh yeah, you did. You did.
I did, yeah.
And so you know
yeah.
what it is.
Yeah.
You know what smoking a spliff and playing hacky sack on the Thames is like.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Well, my friends referred to my dreadlocks as poo dreads.
I never said that. I don't like that term.
They were disgusting. I should never have had dreadlocks.
Here's the funny thing about Dan. Dan went to Costa Rica pretty early on when I met him. Like, I'd met him. We had done like a play together. We were hanging out, and he was like, "Okay, ciao. I'm going to Costa Rica for like 6 months or something." And so that was it. And I made friends with all of Dan's friends, and we became really close. And Dan came back.
He took over my role.
I took a little bit of what Dan. Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Dan came back and was like totally Costa Rica'd out. Like, I don't think I saw Dan in a shirt like until like the second frost of December. And he would wear a sarong. And we'd be like, hey, like, we're over at this apartment, why don't you come over? And he would walk from one apartment to another apartment in nothing but his sarong and bare feet.
No, that's not true.
Yeah, he would be like,
I probably had Tivas
and then
on.
you'd like sit and you'd smoke a joint and you'd play with your dreads or whatever. And I'd be like, wow, this guy is the real deal. Like, this guy was, this is like.
I probably had a machete. Like,
yeah, you had all kinds. I mean, it was definitely, you had a look at that point.
Yeah. Thank God that looks over. But actually, you should have seen me in India a couple of years ago. It wasn't far off.
Similar.
Yeah.
The guy's, I mean, I don't know. Like, the guy doesn't, how many hair, you're like a hairless cat under
I have no hair.
It's nothing.
No.
So he can do that kind of stuff.
Right, exactly.
He doesn't
I can't. I got the
I can't
sweater.
do it either. Yeah,
Yeah.
me too. I can't do it.
I have the body of an 11-year-old girl underneath it.
I hope you mean your body is that of an 11.
Yeah, that's-
not that
that's-
you're hiding the body inside your sweater, because we'd have to go off the air. at that point.
An 11-year-old.
Look, we have a couple of
Yeah.
Elizabeth says, okay, Denis in Montreal narrows it down. And my favorite commenter, XOSAABX, says that has to get you down to what, 20% of the male
Do
population.
they really need
for
his
the
last name?
Denise?
I'll find out his last
For the
name.
Denise.
Okay.
The Denis
Yeah.
in Quebec.
But what I'd like to do is show the Hippie Den, because there is this video that you guys made, bringing it back full circle. And this is a takeoff on the National Film Board of Canada type documentaries that they used to make in the 70s. And I swear to God, I played this for some people who thought it was actually very authentic.
Well, what we really hope for is that in like 5 or 10 years, you literally won't know when it was made. Like that's sort of our plan. In the meantime, I'm going to look up Denny's last name for all of you out there.
All right, and let's watch. Is there a name for this one?
I think it's just called The Hippies of Mount Royal.
The Hippies of Mount Royal. Here you go. Enjoy. This will blow your mind.
Mount Royal Park, Montreal, Canada, home to the Sir George Edward Carleton Monument and a weekly festival known informally as the Tam Tams. The name refers to the drum circles that burst forth every Sunday afternoon throughout the temperate months in this horny French-Canadian city. Tam-tams, tom-toms, bongo drums, and go-go bells are among the percussive sounds one can hear emanating from the base of the famed angel statue. The Tam-tams is also home to the Hippies, a loose community of long-haired pacifists known for their huge tufts of pubic hair and general disregard for the law. Here they are free to express themselves, to dance ecstatically, and to relax. The weekly gathering is a playground for the city's counterculture and losers. An occasion for them to ply their marijuana trade.
You want some joints or?
Without fear of incarceration. Still, the hippies are on the lookout, forever paranoid of the man. Today's tam-tams are still centered on the drum circle, but have evolved to include artisanal vendors, performance artists, perverts, and drug dealers. Using advanced methods of communication, the hippies have made it easy to traffic their marijuana. Public drinking is also tolerated at the tam-tams, and the selling of beer helps finance the hippies' simple, hairy existence. As the sun begins to set, and the drums reach a fever pitch, the bohemians surrender to the primal rhythms. For this one Sunday of each week during the hot summer months, Mount Royal Park belongs to them. After a long day of dancing and drug dealing, the hippies take stock of the day, divvying up the earnings, and satisfied with the miniature profits.
Wow.
Wonderful, wonderful.
Wow.
It really
Well
does
done.
have that NFB feel, and
Right.
so that National Film Board of Canada is so beloved around the world that even there's a band, Boards of Canada,
Right.
that name themselves after that aesthetic, and
Yeah.
not to blow smoke, but that was my experience at the Tam Tams,
Yeah.
and that's my experience with those movies. So you guys
Yeah,
hit the
I
nail on
hope
the head.
the NFB has probably had a boost in ratings because
Yeah.
of us. They're like, finally,
They're
they
trying to-
made something good.
Yeah.
So we have Mongani says hippies.
Come on.
Zen Robo says love that old money and how crumpled it is.
Well, that's what happens to old money.
That's what happens to old money.
We-
New money, new money, no crumples.
They call me new money. They call this guy old money.
It crumples. It crumples.
So you told us that you got injured on that on that shoot.
When I do the I guess, what do you call those, cartwheels?
Cartwheels.
I pulled my groin, and it's funny, it's not in there, but you can see right away I walk off really, like I'm limping away. I'm like, cut.
Yeah.
How long did it take? Did you shoot that all in one day?
Oh yeah. Anything we shoot is we usually have 3 hours.
I got a question. Do you have time for a substantial snack? An Actra? Did
Uh,
Actra come
no.
on? Because
You know what? Because it's under 4 hours, we don't have to supply ourselves with snacks. We also don't have the budget for it.
What about pee breaks? Because
Pee breaks, I wear a diaper.
yeah,
So
because Dan may need to disappear to the bathroom.
I warned Eric that I have a small bladder, so it's possible I'll have to leave here to take a pee.
How are you feeling right now?
I feel good, actually. I'm glad I went twice right before the show.
Twice before the show.
Well, once
we
at
had
the
a drink
bar.
at the
yeah,
bar.
we had a drink.
Right.
Downstairs. You know, I used to live next door to here.
Yeah.
For
No
years, and my mom lived in an apartment in the big building that's on between Northcliffe and Marlow.
So did you go to Villa Souvlaki a lot?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dan and I, that's actually kind of a foundational part of
Yeah.
our friendship. We used to go to
Yeah.
Villa all the time.
Really?
Villa Souvlaki.
Yeah.
We go.
Well, because I went to Villa Maria High School as an 11-year-old now.
But we would go. We do all that. We went to Cosmos all the time.
Right.
Those were rough mornings.
Yeah.
Those Cosmos.
Matt actually died once in Cosmos, and no.
That was the second time. That was when my AI died. The
Right.
first time. 'Cause
Right.
I actually have been dead since 1994.
Before I forget, can
Yes.
I plug Denis?
Yes, plus Denis.
It's
Plus
Denis
Denis.
Perron.
Yeah.
And his wig store is called Le Chevalier. Can you?
Le Chevalier.
Le Chevalier.
Yeah. So
So
if you
Denis,
want- yeah.
we want our wigs for free next time.
You don't have to do them for free, but a reasonable industry insider
Even
discount.
15% discount.
You need to turn some kind of profit.
I'll tell you a funny story, actually, really
Yeah.
quickly. In the Alvin House shoot, originally I had my own mustache and goatee, but then 2 days later we had to do a reshoot, and I'd shaven everything because I was like, we're done, and I'm not walking around with a mustache and a goatee.
Why?
Just out of self-respect, really.
Didn't you walk around in a sarong and
Yeah, but I had
shirtless?
dreads. That's
Okay,
different.
right, exactly.
And a full beard.
Okay,
That's different. Anyways, and so I ended up having to go rent a mustache and goatee. Like for the ski scenes, you can't notice, but those are actually fake. And upon returning it, they're literally like these like little thin hairs. Like it's real human hair. And we're in the parking lot of Denis' place. I opened the door, they're in my hand, and they just blew out of my hand. They blew out of my hand, and I was like, shit, like, because like they're expensive. Like if I had to pay for it, probably would have been like $200 to buy them. And literally, like, I'm talking like 60-kilometer-an-hour winds. Like.
Oh, it was a couple of days ago when
No. This was a couple months ago, but it was like dead of winter. Like, opened the door, like disappeared. Like they were out of, and I was like, oh shit, Adrian. Like, and like somehow
land on a
Adrian
dog?
found them. Like somehow he found it like 20 feet away, like stuck to a piece of salt. And not only that, two pieces. Like one was a goatee and he found them both.
Did they land in the same position on the salt so that it looked like the salt?
Yeah, we took a photo and it looked exactly like my face.
Right.
It was like, Wilson! That's the only movie reference I'll ever be able to make.
He saw Castaway. He saw
Yeah,
Castaway.
but I know Tom Hanks is in
yeah.
it, and I know Wilson was in it. Wilson or Wilson?
Wilson. The ball.
The ball.
Right. You see?
Wilson.
He doesn't
You know the Toms. You know Tom?
Tom Hanks,
And
Tom
Tom.
Petty,
Tom?
Tom Cruise.
Yeah.
Tom Sizemore.
I don't know who that is. Tom Selleck?
Wait,
Tom Selleck.
Tom Sizemore, was that Scagnetti?
Yeah, Scagnetti.
Yes.
Scagnetti
nice.
on Scagnetti?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
We have a comment over there,
Yes.
which I can't really see. It just says next door pub, but I
Yes, it was the next door pub. Oh.
Did you live in the next door pub?
can't. Did you live in the next door
no.
pub? Says,
Hey, you know, it used to be called Buster Harvey's.
Right.
When I lived here.
Right.
So it wasn't, and I lived on the other side of the next door pub.
We
so.
lived in it for about 15 minutes before the show.
Yeah, 15 minutes. If you live, it can be said that you just live in any place. A man lives in whatever room he sits
Right.
in, right?
That's where the heart is.
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, so I lived in the next door pub for
Wait,
about 15
I
minutes.
think we got to get to this comment, Eric.
This is just incredible, says Mong Henny. Do you guys
I don't know
Mong
who that
Henny?
is.
I don't know who Mongani is.
But I like
Do,
him.
do you guys know who Mong Henny is?
Monghani, we like you.
What's that? Awesome. Well, thank you, Mong Henny.
Oh,
I love that this is incredible.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Not much is these days.
Do you guys get a lot of This Is Incredibles?
No, this is our first. This is incredible.
I told you. I told you we were going to get
This is incredible!
We should call Darren Curtis and rub it in his face.
Can we get him on a conference call here?
Call him.
Yeah.
He's got a baby. He's got a new baby. He's
Oh, no,
gonna
it's
like.
I'll text him.
All right. While
He's
you
just
do,
going to swear a lot.
Yeah.
while you do, I think it's time now. This is high time for some tagline trivia.
Okay.
Okay.
And I have a feeling you're going to do better than Dan.
Right.
Because you know movies and you know nothing.
I told
about
you
movies.
that I know
He
nothing.
knows nothing. I'll tell you a funny story. Once, I have this little cousin. He's exactly like me. He's a great kid, but he's very much like me. And he came over. He was like 8 years old, and we were talking about Star Wars. And I was like, do you like this? What do you think of like Grand Moff Tarkin? What do you think? I was using all of like the insider stuff. And my brother was like, and how about that Han Solo, eh? And this 8-year-old kid looked at my brother and went, you know nothing about Star Wars. And it really just cut him down like that in 2 seconds. Like an 8-year-old kid who's like, you're full of shit. Like you don't know what you're talking about.
This is your brother, Mike Silver, who also goes by the name CFCF.
Yes,
who has written a lot of music for movies, right?
Yeah, he wrote the score for Boost, which was Darren Curtis's movie. Yeah.
And for Scores, the chicken restaurant.
And actually, the original song for the Scores Chicken Restaurant is a CFCF original, very little known. He wasn't recording under that. But it's a beautiful song. It's a beautiful song.
Very talented guy. I love his music.
Oh, great. Yeah, it's great.
So let's do it. You suggest a decade. Okay. And I can find taglines by decade.
Wow.
So I mean, we can do.
Are you AI?
Oh boy,
but they can't see the computer, can they?
No, they can't. You can't.
I can see. He's got a computer. He's got a computer.
There's an AI device in his lap.
All right. How about 80s?
Sure, let's do it.
Never been there.
Right.
Never seen it.
All right, let's try some 80s.
Let's try it. There's a guy killing it on Jeopardy these days. He's like nuts. He just today, moment of history. I know we're going to get to this tagline trivia. Just today, highest ever one-day take on Jeopardy.
Really?
Yeah, it was nuts. I saw it happen live.
How much?
It was like
$13?
No, it's like $118,000.
Holy smokes!
One day.
What?
One day. The guy is a professional gambler from Las Vegas, Nevada.
You know what?
And
the system is rigged. I bet he figured out. Like,
Alex Trebek, well, he always goes for the thousands in the first round of Jeopardy. He's looking for the daily doubles. But Alex was like, is it too early to say Ken Jennings when we talk about this new guy? Like, are we talking about
Jennings was the...
he was like the master Jeopardy.
He's not the one who played against Watson, is he? Yeah? Okay, yeah, exactly.
And he lost?
Have you guys been watching Jeopardy? Are you Jeopardy watchers?
Hey,
you should have seen it.
I wish I was the guy who does the voice.
Yeah.
This is Jeopardy.
I like when he goes, with a one-day winnings of, and you're like, holy smokes. Like he's actually meant, it's like $1,400. You're like, oh. I guess he just got lucky.
You gotta love Alex Trebek, though. I mean, his very sad announcement recently of being diagnosed with cancer, but like the way he's facing it.
He's a class act.
Oh,
what kind of cancer?
Pancreatic cancer.
Is that a bad one?
It's a bad one.
He's a class act, 100%.
Okay, off that low note, into something more.
Well, just leave it on the one-day winnings record. Happened today, the 9th of April, 2019.
Wow.
Jeopardy.
Do you watch Jeopardy every day?
Well, I've been getting into it.
Okay. Matt is unemployed. No, I'm kidding. He's not unemployed.
Not unemployed.
Here's a big one from the 80s.
Okay.
He's afraid, he's alone, he's 3 million light years from home.
He's afraid, he's alone. Is it Howard the Duck?
Oh, no, that would have been a great one. Think much more. Yes, you're on the right track.
Movie?
Yeah.
He's afraid, he's alone, he's 3 million. E.T.?
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
They actually established, like they gave him like a starting point. They're like, E.T. comes from here, which is 3 million light years away.
I feel like Alf gets a half point. I mean, Alf is just a newer version.
Where's E.T. from then? If they know specifically he's 3 million light years away.
I mean, that could be in any direction, Matt.
Still, I mean, the universe is massive.
Exactly.
Okay, so that was 1982. I'm going to give you another 82.
Okay.
Another big one.
I'm feeling bad now.
I'm screwed.
Man is the warmest place to hide. And
Oh, I know this one.
there's a second one, the ultimate in alien terror.
The Thing.
Yes,
That's
well
a good
done.
one.
I think I should get a 5-second.
Okay, let's try another one.
yeah,
Let's try
fair
another
enough.
one.
You have to give me 5 seconds.
Yeah,
because
yeah,
there's
yeah.
no, I know nothing.
Okay,
Try
He
it.
doesn't know.
Try it.
we're sticking with 1982. A world inside a computer where man has never been, never before now.
Oh, he doesn't know.
He doesn't
know.
You know, don't
He
you?
doesn't know.
Read it again.
Okay. I'll even give you hints. There was a remake a couple of years back.
He doesn't know.
And the original starred the dude.
He doesn't even know who the dude is.
You don't know
Wait,
who the dude
The
is?
Big Lebowski?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know that.
Okay.
So the original starred the dude.
Okay. The original star, what do you mean? Like,
The original of this movie, the 1982 movie for the tagline of which is a world inside a computer where man has never been, never before now.
World inside a computer.
4 letters. Starts with a T.
1984.
82.
Those are numbers, not letters.
World.
No, I thought the movie like 1984, but that's not even a movie.
No, that is a movie. It is a movie.
That would have been a good guess. Yeah. Starts with the T.
I want you to look at me.
Taxi? You said it starts with a T.
Yeah, it does. It does.
4 letters.
It's 4 letters. Did you ever see a taxi movie that takes place inside a computer?
The second part of the word, so there's 4 letters. The first letter is T. The rest of the letters make a first name. That the last name could be
My father-in-law's first name. It's my father-in-law's name.
There you go.
He'll know this one. He knows my
right.
father-in-law's name.
I'm thinking T dot,
You guys
but
have
I
a buddy
know that
Jameson, right? His
T Rob. Oh, Tron.
Hey! Thank you.
I thought we were going to be talking about. I was giving you like a 5-second lead.
You knew the answer.
I knew the answer right from the.
I knew the.
But you
Okay.
didn't.
All right, 1983. This is fun, by the way. These you did well. These are my favorites so far. Okay.
I won't. You can take it if you go.
No, I want to build you up. I don't want to tear you down.
Okay.
He loved the American dream with a vengeance, and it's not Die Hard.
Love the American dream with a vengeance.
Yeah. So he came from afar to live the American dream.
In 1980.
1983.
Is that the movie with Eddie Murphy coming to America?
No, it's
that
later.
would've-
It's later. 1983.
Think about the vengeance part.
With a vengeance.
Hold on.
Does anybody know here yet? What about you guys? Oh, we've been having so much fun. I
Right.
forgot to tell you guys to participate in the chat,
Yeah.
which you have been already. But like, if you know the answers to these, let us know.
With a vengeance.
I feel like all these people are on my team, and you're alone because I literally don't know anything.
I don't know.
The world is yours.
The world is yours. That's the other. Is that another?
Well, that's the big sign that's in his house.
What?
And he says, "Say hello to my little friend."
Oh, Scarface.
Thank you. All
That's
right.
his tagline. He came to America. He what was
Yeah,
he?
because he
loved
comes
it.
off the boat.
Yeah. Yeah, right. That's the big scene everybody remembers. That's the part where Tony Montana gets off the boat. He's gonna go into that refugee thing under the bridge.
Okay, I got a good one. Don't get him wet. Keep him out of bright light and never feed him after midnight.
Oh, Gremlins.
Yes. Good.
The don't get them wet.
He knows.
Okay.
He knows.
It's 4 a.m. Do you know where your car is? And this is not, dude, where's my car?
No, is it License to Drive?
No, that would have been a good guess. This is
What
a harder
year?
one.
What year is this?
1984. Is it a Stephen King?
Oh, Christine.
No.
Say goodbye to the big boat. Oh,
Say goodbye to the
OSAB says, say goodbye to the big boat.
okay, that's not the answer to this
That's
one.
pretty funny.
Who was in this movie? Hold on, I'm gonna have to find it. We should just play this for the rest of the tape.
Say goodbye to the big boat.
This is an American science fiction comedy written by and directed by Alex Cox. Okay, it starts.
So tell me what's the tagline again?
It is.
It's 4 a.m. Do you know where your car is?
Yeah.
Repo Man.
Thank you. Yes.
I don't think I've seen that. Oh, it wouldn't matter.
I got that one.
The thing that won't die in the nightmare that won't end.
Ooh, that
Do you know that one?
Yeah, I think so.
The thing that won't die.
But there's another tagline which I'm going to give to Dan
Thank
because
you.
I think he might get it based on this
Thank
one.
you.
Yeah.
He's wrong.
In the year of darkness, 2029, the rulers of this planet devised the ultimate plan. They would reshape the future by changing the past. The plan required something that felt no pity, no pain, no fear, something unstoppable. They created the...
Terminator?
Yes!
Oh.
Good.
He knows!
Yeah, so the 80s,
knows.
you guys are doing pretty good on the 80s. He's the only kid to ever get into trouble before he was born. Come on, this is a big one.
In the 80s, the only
This is
kids.
the biggest.
Oh, Back to the Future.
Thank you. Yes.
Okay.
absolutely. Do you guys want to move
But these
to
are
the-
still, like what? Who? What? How do they use these taglines? This is not like.
Well, like in the poster. Or,
Yeah.
I don't even
or-
feel like these were. He's the only kid to get in trouble before he was even born. Nobody's like, Back to the Future. The only kid who was able to get into trouble before he was even born.
I mean, you got it.
Tony Montana, like Scarface.
Say
He was-
goodbye to the big
He
boat.
loved the American way of life with a vengeance.
Yeah, and it would be said with that narrator voice. Here, look, this one I think people do know.
Okay.
One man struggle to take it easy. And we've done this before. I think some of you guys might know that
One
one.
man struggled
One man
to take
struggled to take it easy.
Who took
I
it
have-
easy the most in the 80s?
Who took it easy the most?
Well, I'm thinking Sam Malone from Cheers. but
You're kind of, I mean, it's not.
John
but
Travolta?
You're so in the right vein, though. Think Dankeschön.
I don't know what that means.
Oh, it's Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
Thank you, yeah.
But again, that's like, it feels like that. I don't know that tagline.
Okay, how about be afraid, be very afraid?
Oh,
Yeah,
like
but-
Friday the 13th
Yeah,
or
I
something?
think so. something
Not
like
even
that.
actually, it's The Fly. All right, I feel
Fly.
like maybe we'll come back to this.
Okay.
Because I've now pissed you off with.
No, I'm not. I feel like it's one of those things where you're like, you think of like the great taglines, like,
If you build it, they will come.
yeah,
Yeah,
something
okay,
like that.
exactly.
You know?
Yeah.
And yeah,
Is
sure.
that- is that
we
the-
all think of Field of Dreams. So the two maybe the greatest moments in cinema history. The moment Tony Montana gets off the boat.
Say goodbye to the big boat.
Ooh,
Field of
actually,
Dreams.
this is a cool one. I need to think a little bit.
Okay.
And give me 5
1989
seconds.
movie. The dancing's over. Now it gets dirty.
Oh,
There's-
dirty
oh,
dancing.
No, there's hints
it's
in there.
Too easy.
Lambada. The Lambada.
What?
No?
Hold on.
There are hints in there.
The dancing is over?
Now it gets dirty. So think you were right
89.
with Dirty
Yeah,
Dancing,
yeah.
but Patrick Swayze was in
Roadhouse?
There you go.
Roadhouse.
Never seen it.
Roadhouse. Would that be on the poster? The dancing is over, now it gets dirty.
Well, this is what I'm going to do. I'm just going to Google that phrase.
Matt's
and see
getting
what
really
comes up.
angry. I think we need to stop
I
playing.
just think these are sort of like way out of there. I mean, I guess the thing is, it's like the network commercial would be like, the dancing is over, now it's time to get dirty. And then you do like Swayze knocks some guy up against a thing, or doesn't he rip a guy's throat out in that or something? It's
Does
not
he?
It's a big thing in Roadhouse. He has like some special move.
Oh, right, exactly, yeah.
That he
Sam,
can do
is
that.
it Sam? No, what's the other guy's?
I don't know.
I'm just gonna.
On to a new trailer.
Yeah, okay.
Okay,
Right,
we're,
sure.
we're
Okay.
going
Yeah,
off.
my blood pressure's gotta go down.
Say goodbye to the big boat.
So let's have a look. A new trailer came out this week that has a lot of people buzzing.
I'm buzzing right now.
I think our man Ben is going to be pretty happy about this one. Let's just see it.
Okay.
This is this is the Joker.
Cool.
As directed by Todd
Phillips.
Yeah.
Maybe we can talk about it after. But do you remember I used to have a T-shirt that just said "ha ha ha"?
Yeah, I had that old Joker tee. Remember from the first Batman? They
sure.
made all
It was my
those, like,
favorite T-shirt.
wore it all the time, up until he was like in his 20s.
Yeah, purple jeans and that T-shirt.
It's a good look. And a
Combat
LA
boots.
Kings cap, wasn't
Yeah,
it?
something like
Did
that.
you still get mixed up for Dave Grohl back in the day?
No, Dave Grohl only started around when I was 18, which was 2 years ago.
Yeah. Remember when he started the program, you were 32.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're
Yeah.
Benjamin Button.
Yeah.
Well, what's
That's a
the
movie,
what's
by
the
the way,
Back to the
starring-
Future quote?
You could get it before you were even born.
Yeah,
You get in
exactly.
trouble.
All right, the
Before-
Joker.
Yeah.
Okay.
Arthur, does it help to have someone to talk to?
My mother always tells me to smile and put on a happy face. She told me I had a purpose to bring laughter and joy to the world. Is it just me? Or is it getting crazier out there?
Smile, though your heart is aching. Smile, even though it's breaking. When there are clouds in the sky, you'll get by.
What?
If you smile through your fear and sorrow, smile, and maybe tomorrow you'll find that life is still worthwhile. If you
What's so funny? Freak?
Gotham's lost its way. What kind of coward would do something that cold-blooded? Someone who hides behind a mask.
I used to think that my life was a tragedy. It's a comedy.
You just
Yeah. So, what do you guys think?
Looks cool.
Yeah, I think it'll be. I mean, Joaquin is my favorite. I think he's my favorite actor.
Oh yeah?
I think so. I think he's a guy that like, didn't pay a lot of attention to him in the early part. Like, I've never seen Gladiator. I don't think I've ever seen Gladiator.
Oh
from
right, I forgot that he was like a heartthrob back.
For a
back
short period
yeah.
of time, like right up until Walk the Line.
Yeah.
And then he seemed to have some kind of break after
right.
Walk
Was
the
it-
Line. He
what?
did that thing like I'm Not Here or whatever
Yeah.
it's called, or I can't remember that like Casey Affleck movie.
Mm-hmm.
And then he came out of that and he took like a bit of a break and you didn't see him again for a little while. And then he came out and he did
A couple of Paul Thomas Anderson.
Yeah, I'm
movies,
trying
right?
to think if that was the first. No, I mean he did. He also works with this guy James Gray.
Yes.
So he did like two
We Own the Night.
women.
Was that what it's
We
called?
Own the Night. Yeah, he did
that
We
was a
Own the
great
Night,
movie.
which is really good. Then he did Two Women, which was the first time he had done something where it was like really idiosyncratic and weird in that way that he's like can be sort of like weak and weird and kind of passive aggressive. And they did another one called The Immigrant, and that's the one where I was like, wow, this guy is amazing.
Oh, I don't think I saw that one.
Immigrant's really great.
And that's
It's
with
really
Gray.
good.
That's
That's
directed by Gray?
James Gray
Okay.
and Marianne Cotillard is the star.
Yeah.
And he plays like this shystery magician. So I
Okay.
highly recommend it. It's actually it's a great movie.
What's the movie where he's in it, where it's like in Venice Beach? Or
Oh,
That's Inherent Vice, which is one of my favorite movies.
Yes. So I asked you. It's funny, as we were watching that, I was going to bring that up. I still want to get back to the Joker, but I read in your. I asked you to send me some of your
Yep.
favorite movies, and Inherent Vice was in there, and I was somewhat surprised because I love Paul Thomas Anderson.
Yeah.
I love him, but that was for me. That film seemed like a bit of a misstep. And
There's a weird pace to that movie. That movie has a very weird pacing, but if you can get into it and ride the current, it's got some stuff that is just like amazing. Josh Brolin in it is so good as Bigfoot. Like, there's just some stuff. There's a thing. There's this one scene. I don't know if you remember this. So slapsticky. He calls up Doc, who's Doc Sportello, who's the detective in it, and he's telling him that they went to the girlfriend's place, and that's the big mystery in the movie is that his girlfriend's gone missing, or his
right,
ex-girlfriend.
exactly.
So he's like, we went over to her place and we tried to open the window and then we went through the door. And he's just dying because it's like the emotional, like it's the whole drive of the movie is finding the girlfriend, like what's going on? Is she gonna be okay? And he just goes, she's gone, dude. She's gone. She's gone. He's like, what? And he's like, oh my God, I can't believe. He goes, yeah, she's gone. She's out of there. She's far out, man. She's gone. He's like, what the fuck are you doing to me? Like, can't you just be professional, Bigfoot? And it's just a weird, it's in the context of this very kind of atmospheric.
It's based on a book too, right?
Yeah, it's based on a Thomas Pynchon book.
That's right. Yeah, exactly.
It's not like great TV, when you see a guy on a couch replaying a scene from a movie.
I was intrigued.
I don't know if
It's not great live internet. When people are like, oh, what's the best thing you can do on live internet?
Yeah.
Well, sex is one, and sex is also two.
Yeah, there's no viewers left.
Yeah, there's no viewers left. And they're like, the last thing you want to see is, oh, there's a scene from a movie I've never seen where a guy's going to talk about it for 3 minutes on live internet.
Well, I was once reviewing, I think I told this story in an earlier episode. I was reviewing, was it Zero Dark 30? That was the one where they got Bin Laden, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
so I was reviewing that
Yes,
on,
they got
on
him.
TV. And I told them to roll clip, and there was a technical problem, and this was live TV. Not live internet, live TV. And the clip didn't roll, and somehow I had this smart idea. I was like, well, why don't I just reenact it? I was like, where's Obama? Let's shoot him. Yeah, it didn't go over
Wait, they didn't shoot Obama.
sorry, Osama. Osama. Yeah.
I'm not pounding on that one.
We're not pounding
I'm
on
not
that.
pounding on that one. It's not that kind of show.
No, not at all.
Although that's something you do on live internet. You do crazy theories.
Yeah, have you ever had Alex Jones on this show?
I would love to have Alex Jones on the show. Speaking of crazy theories, so I'm going to jump around here. Neil deGrasse Tyson has now weighed in. You're a big fan of the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Yeah.
And you know that there's all these theories about how they're going to, what's going to happen in Endgame.
Yeah.
And one of the theories is that Ant-Man is going to go in Thanos' ass and expand.
Yeah.
Thanos?
Thanos.
No, it's well.
I'll catch you.
Okay.
Okay, yeah.
Sounds,
I always get Thanos' ass, and Neil deGrasse Tyson has now weighed in.
Yeah.
And hold on, let me see if I can find his quotes because you always want to know what the experts are saying.
Thanos?
He's the guy. He has the Infinity Gauntlet.
Yeah.
No idea.
It's a metal glove.
Okay.
That you
Oh
put
no, do
powerful
I not even
stones
have
in.
it?
Okay.
And then
But
again-
why would he go in his ass?
He's very powerful. If you went,
What does that mean though? Like to go in?
nobody can
someone's
beat
ass?
it because Ant-Man gets very, very small.
Oh, and he's gonna go in his ass.
He's gonna go
is it
up
here?
into his
Why?
ass. And he's gonna do it because then he can get big again and explode. I guess.
Oh, then he
explode.
becomes that
But
person?
I think that theory, I think that's a little too straightforward. I mean, who knows? But I do think that this quantum realm is going to play a major part in it. There's some reality bending thing about the quantum realm that when they figured out that this was something they could do, which is such a crazy story. You ever hear that story that it was actually, what's his name? I'm blanking now. Another thing you don't want to see on live internet.
Can I? Sorry, go ahead.
It doesn't exist in the comics. It's actually something that was made specifically for Ant-Man, and it came up with the writers. Who was the original writer of the first Ant-Man? It was Adam McKay. Adam McKay was originally part of the development of the first Ant-Man, and he, in one of the early drafts of the script, had said like, well, why don't we just do this? Like, if you get small, 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 and keep getting small, you end up in this quantum area where you're like, physics doesn't work and all this stuff. And
that wasn't in the comics?
That's not in the comics. The quantum realm actually only exists. I mean, maybe there's some version of the quantum realm. There's other things. I mean, maybe somebody watching can fact check me on that one.
Ant-Man's thing, like he gets small and he goes into people's butts, like that's his thing?
No, not yet, but we're hoping that might be.
But I'm still But what
his superpower?
But I mean, like
he's very small.
But he's been in other movies, I assume.
Yeah, he's in.
And so and this will be the first time he's gone in someone's butt.
We might not go in the butt.
How does he go otherwise? Like through the eye and nose?
No, he doesn't go into people. This is not.
Why hasn't he? Like, so all of a sudden this is gonna be a new thing for him.
Things he does, he goes into like machine, like he would go into. So you're watching
he's
like
like,
a
beep, bop,
bomb.
bop, bop.
Yeah, you do that.
Okay.
But so Neil deGrasse Tyson has gone on record to say. He says, first, that's nasty, because if Thanos is as powerful and as evil as he is, he's going to have powerful, evil poop, and I would not want to find myself in that environment. So that in itself is true.
Yeah.
He goes on to then say, second, why not put something else in there that expands? Why does it have to be your own self?
I could think of one other thing you could put in there that would expand.
Elaborate.
No.
Please.
No, okay, this show is going off the rails. There is also, I think someone wrote a song.
You got to think about the moment in history when you have the eminent physicist of the United States of America having to sit down and talk about Thanos' poop. You're really you're really going the right direction.
It is
human
end
civilization.
times. Yeah, endgame.
Congratulations.
Well, Trump is the president, so it makes sense.
So let me ask you this: back to Joker.
Yeah.
I feel that everyone now feels, the Heath Ledger Joker was the quintessential Joker, right?
Yeah.
He may have even, Jack Nicholson was great, but Heath Ledger took it to the next level.
Mm-hmm.
Do we think that maybe Joaquin Phoenix can,
I don't know.
Is he treading on similar territory?
I don't know. I mean, from that trailer, it's tough to see. He seems to be playing something a little bit more human than Heath Ledger. Heath Ledger was really sort of a force of nature, right?
Right.
And Jack Nicholson was a little bit more like a cartoon. So it feels like Joaquin Phoenix is one of his abilities, I think, is like to find that real deep insecurity that we all kind of carry around and project that really big. So I feel like there's an element there of this is the human origins of a force of nature eventually.
What are we thinking in terms of how does this fit into the DCEU? Is this going to be a standalone movie? Or,
I don't know. You know what they say is that DC is different from Marvel in that they don't feel as much of a, like they've been doing this Justice League thing, which hasn't been going very well. And so what I've heard is that they're now going to sort of focus on a thing that actually makes them special, which is cool, which are these sort of standalone reinterpretations of their major characters. So like Dark Knight, the Frank Miller miniseries,
doesn't exist in continuity with the rest of DC.
Right.
It was just one artist and one writer's take on, you know, who Batman could be and where he comes from. Similarly, there's the series called Killing Joke, which I can't remember. Is the writer also Frank Miller on Killing
I think
Joke?
Ben can tell us. Nope.
No, who is?
No.
No, you can't tell us? Oh, no, is it Warren Ellis?
Ask me.
Who's the writer on Killing Joke?
He doesn't know.
Alan Moore. Yeah, it's Alan
Alan
Moore.
Moore.
That's it. Yeah, Alan Moore. So, and that's out of continuity too. That's just something that they did. It was just like a take on something.
Yep.
But I don't think it's like built into, you know, Commissioner Gordon's daughter's narrative of what happened to her in that series. I'm not gonna ruin anything, but it's you know, a pretty dark comic.
That Killing Joke, right?
Killing Joke. And this actually looks like it's from the Killing Joke.
It does. It has that feel of like, you know, just look at his, like everything just seems a little kind of dirty and ratty. Like there's a rattiness to it. But I like what you say about the human quality that I think for the, you know, as compared to the Jared Leto Joker.
Which I haven't seen that. I kind of gave up on, I mean, I'm DC, I've sort of put it in a corner. I don't, but have you seen it? How is it? You must have seen it.
What was that?
The Suicide Squad.
Yeah. Not very good.
How's Jared Leto?
Well, everyone hated him. Everyone hated his interpretation of it. I actually thought it was interesting. Like, I like these different takes on the Joker. I'm not sure who my favorite Joker is yet. I want to give a chance to especially Todd Phillips, because, I mean, think about, he did Old School.
Yep.
He did the Hangover movies, and then what did he do most recently?
Most recently, he did that one Due Date, I think. I think he did that as well as a standalone.
Really?
Could be wrong, but I think he did that. And he did the 3 Hangovers.
There's like a dark quality to.
Well, you know what's interesting? His first movie, I was actually thinking about this the other day. This is like heaven to me to be able to like actually
geek out about
this. But his first thing was a documentary, kind of a famous cult documentary on Gigi Allen, who was.
He did that?
Yeah. So that's the first thing that Todd Phillips ever did in terms of getting him notoriety. That went to festivals and everything, and. So it feels like there's almost this opportunity to kind of, because Gigi, I don't know if, like, for people who are watching, Gigi Allen was this really extreme punk persona.
He used to eat his own shit.
Yeah, on stage, he used to throw his shit at the audience, he'd cut himself, and he'd do all kinds of crazy stuff on stage. His band was called the Murder Devils. Is that what it was?
I think so. Yeah.
And he died of cancer or something like that. But anyways, it's been this sort of cult figure, and Todd Phillips made this documentary. So it seems interesting that you're sort of like, the beginning of Todd Phillips' career and where he is right now actually seem to feel kind of like you could be treading similar ground and finding the like human underneath this sort of larger than life monster.
You should host a show about movies.
I just want to host shows about Todd Phillips
should maybe switch
movies.
seats here.
Right, yeah, just Todd Phillips movies. I've been thinking about, but I'm just like a loser. I'm just like a straight up, like, I think about these things all the time. My wife wants to come and see, I can say she's not going to be, I don't know if she's watching or not, but she wants to come and see Endgame, the new like Avengers movie. And I was like, oh, well, you got to watch like 15 movies.
Well, if she's lucky, you know, because I think it's AMC in the States, they're doing a marathon.
Oh, they are?
The entire 49 hours.
Can we just look up some plane tickets?
My anniversary just passed, but I think that would be.
I think she would love it. Yeah,
she'd love it. We watched Infinity. We watched what is it?
Infinity Wars?
Wars? Is that
Infinity War?
That doesn't sound right in my head.
Avengers of
Infinity Wars.
Yeah.
You're right. So we watched it, and she was like, "Oh, it's good. It's good. It's good." I was like, "No, so are you ready for Endgame? Are you ready?" She's like, "Yeah. Who cares?
What is
like? It's a movie. We're gonna go see it. It's gonna be in IMAX. Who cares?"
But people are selling their tickets for $1,500.
Yeah.
Is Endgame sort of the last movie?
No,
it's the last. It's the last movie for 3 of them.
Like, that's it.
The last
They're done.
contractual movie
for Chris Evans.
And Robert Downey Jr.
So Iron Man and Captain America.
Those guys could be killed off. But I mean,
he might. His contract might be over. He may renegotiate. But
right.
But in like the comic books, which these movies are based off of, like, has Endgame already happened in the comic books?
Version of it.
Yeah, but what they do is they kind of take different tendrils of storylines and kind of mash it all up together. So, I think all of this probably is going to culminate in the Secret Wars at some point.
Maybe.
You guys are really into this stuff.
Not even me. I've just learned by osmosis. I do want to put...
Yeah. No, I really know a lot about
this. Okay.
He just wants to say a few more things about it.
We have a comment from Zen Robo going back to Jared Leto. The problem with Jared Leto was his behavior off screen hugely problematic.
Hugely problematic.
Do we know why? Anybody know what he did?
I'm gonna say drugs and alcohol.
Could be.
It's always a problem off screen.
Might be. Yeah.
Might be. I mean, I think he's been an actor for so long. He was on My So-Called Life. I feel like when you're an actor for a very long time, it does something to the chemicals in your brain.
Like this guy.
Yeah, right. Like this guy.
Hey, so speaking of DCEU, and Mung Hani, my new favorite best friend.
Yeah, this show is incredible.
Says the trailer has that human quality that seems to be tapping into the grimy nature of Gotham, and now the city itself makes people crazy. And how the city itself makes people crazy.
Yeah, I would say, yeah.
I think this is going to be a great movie.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
And I don't know if it fits into the DCEU, but what I want to talk about now is Shazam.
Okay.
Because this movie took in a fuck ton of money over the weekend, and I got to see it. First of all, did you know? Well, actually, I bet you did know. What was Shazam's original name?
It was Captain Marvel.
Yeah. So right now there's Captain Marvel, but you know, Shazam then went on to become the Big Red and the Big Cheese or the Cheesy Red or something.
Right.
Like that. Why don't we see the trailer, and then we'll come back and I'll give you guys my impressions of the movie. Are we good to go with the Shazam trailer? Let's do it.
Daily Bats. I choose you as a champion. Say my name so my powers will become yours. Shazam.
Wait, for real?
Say it, okay? Say my name. Shazam!
That's crazy, right?
What are your superpowers?
Superpowers, dude? I don't even know how to pee in this thing.
This is proof of authenticity. Super strength. Electricity manipulation. Hyperspeed.
I'd like to purchase some of your finest beer, please.
His name is Captain Sparkle Fingers.
No, it's not. That's not my name. Chosen one. Oh, you're like a bad guy, right?
You literally did the opposite of what a superhero is supposed to do.
You're him. You're the hero.
You're welcome for not getting robbed.
I'm Batman.
Get him back in!
How old are you? Basically 15.
Dude, did you see that?
Yeah, you electrocuted a bus and almost killed these people.
And then I caught it!
You leave tall buildings in a single bound.
Okay, so I got to see it. I was very, very pleasantly surprised because I have not been a fan of what what DC has done as of late. Even Aquaman.
I watched Aquaman. We're all Canadians
all right,
here.
Good. I watched.
Do you say ramen or ramen?
I say ramen.
Ramen, yeah. And
How do you say
garage.
salami?
Salami.
What about nachos?
Nachos.
Really?
And vanilla?
Vanilla.
Vanilla.
Vanilla?
Vanilla.
But is there an E in there?
Yeah.
Vanilla.
Vanilla? You say vanilla?
I said vanilla.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's more. But say vanilla. It's
Okay.
more fun.
Super
Vanilla.
Mario.
Super Mario.
Super Mario.
This guy's all messed up.
What?
You guys are
Super Mario.
Super Mario.
I say Mario.
Yeah.
Mario.
It's a me, Mario. It's me, Mario.
My wife is American. I have to deal with this. I deal with this every day.
Oh, do I speak like an American?
Yeah, a little bit
It's
more.
not, I know. When I used to do voices for our videos when we would talk about Super Mario,
It's a me, Mario.
It's a me, Mario. So okay, this is the story of, as you were saying, it's a kid who develops these powers through magic. And what's interesting is that Shazam was originally called Captain Marvel, and this is a character that appeared in 1939 for the first time. And back then, he was more popular than both Batman and Superman.
Makes sense.
He was like he was the big superhero, and then so now they've made this movie, and what I find very interesting, getting back to the Aquaman, and I enjoyed Aquaman to some extent. I found it too long, but I like the fact that they're getting more and more lighthearted, away from the kind of dark, brooding characters. And what's really cool about this movie is that there's a lot of heart and a lot of humor in it, and it's I think. They're not taking themselves too seriously. They're taking the piss, and that seems to be a lot of fun. What's really interesting is first of all the actor Zachary Levi or Levi or Levy or whatever you want to call him.
What's he from? I've seen him before.
TV.
What's his background?
Anybody know?
Scrubs or something?
He looks like
He looks like he belongs.
Chuck. That's it. Yeah. He looks like the perfect mix of Jimmy Fallon and Ed Helms.
Yeah.
And he really kind of, and you get that sense that there's kind of a jovial, happy-go-lucky sense to this character. It's really interesting also. It kind of reminded me, in some ways, it's like Big, right? It's an adult playing a kid in an adult body. Or I don't know if you guys saw Jumanji, the one that came out.
I haven't seen the new one. No.
Yeah. And so that I like it. When well acted, it's to great effect. And speaking of which, The Rock, who was in. Dwayne Johnson, who was in the latest Jumanji, is now being reported to be Black Adam in Shazam 2.
Oh, okay.
So Shazam 2 was already in the works. There's a lot of cameos. Ben, you're going to be very interested to know that I won't spoil anything, but for fans of the DC universe, there's some major characters that make some appearances, some not so major characters. It's a lot of fun. I had the choice between seeing Pet Sematary and Shazam. I had a lot of fun at Shazam. You saw Pet Sematary.
No, I did. Well, I started by watching Pet Sematary, but I walked out after like 5 minutes.
It was that bad?
I just knew right away I wasn't going to like it. I mean, the movie starts out with a lot of like this child actor, and she wasn't very good. I was like, okay, this movie's going to suck.
Did you see it?
I did see it.
And did you like it?
No, I did not like it.
Really?
No, I didn't. I thought it was stupid.
Oh.
Sorry, guys.
I'm talking about the one recently,
right,
not the...
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah, no, I mean, again, it's very hard to impress me with a movie. Like, I like really good movies. That's my thing.
That's his thing.
That's my thing.
Like if you were going to do the tagline trivia for Dan, he likes really good movies. Dan Haber. I mean, I know the guy's just...
I won't be able to name you who the director is.
No, but you love good movies.
So what are some of your favorite movies?
Well, right off the top of my head, I like Goodfellas.
Yep.
I like Boogie Nights.
Good movies.
I like Point Break. Debatable whether it's a good movie, but it's a good
It's a great movie, actually. Did you see the remake?
No, I didn't.
Not so great.
No, I won't.
But fun, but not so great.
No, I mean you're not gonna do better than the original.
But you know who directed that movie?
No
the original?
idea. He doesn't know.
He doesn't know.
You know, right?
Catherine Bigelow.
Yeah.
She's great. She's amazing. She's she's one of my favorite directors. The original Point Break had to eat a lot of shit for a long time for no real reason. As like people would say, "Oh, I'm embarrassed. I really love this movie." Everybody would talk about
It's
it
a
like,
guilty pleasure?
It'd be like a guilty pleasure. I remember I met some people like in the early 2000s or mid 2000s or whatever. It was this troupe of actors, and they were doing like a Point Break play, and they were like, "Oh, I know it's so lame, but we just love it." And there was this sense of like, "Oh, it's so ironic to do this Point Break play and all that stuff." You watch it now, it is like a masterful movie.
Yeah, it is.
It's like it knows everything it's doing. It's 10 steps ahead of you every single time. It's amazing.
Are you a fan of Keanu?
Sure. I don't have a great love for Keanu personally, but he's often is in things that I like.
Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure.
Which there's a new one coming out.
Really?
Yeah, right.
Won't watch it.
He's not gonna watch it.
Okay, so wait.
He's not gonna.
You
watch
said
it.
Goodfellas, because now
Goodfellas.
You got a question here.
Yeah, top 5 films. I would
Top
say
5. All right, let's do it.
Goodfellas, Boogie Nights, Point Break, There Will Be Blood.
Oh.
What would be a 5th movie?
Who's KK Downey?
Well, that's goes without saying. Yes.
2, if not 3. Wait, there's a lot of. What's that? And Hippies of Mount Royal.
Yeah.
There are at least 2, if not 3, Paul Thomas Anderson movies.
Yeah, I
in
do
your
like
list.
Paul Thomas Anderson and Magnolia. I really like Magnolia.
Oh, what a great movie.
Yeah, and that would maybe be up there as well. Yeah, I think.
Well, those are good movies.
Yeah.
But
Like I
all
said,
of the
I only
same
like-
era, eh? There's no.
Yes, I haven't watched a movie since 1999.
He had like this 1 week where he was like, "Show me what you got."
I probably only watched like 10 movies since the year 2000 where I've actually not fallen asleep in the first 15 minutes.
I'm trying to think of a movie I've watched with you. We went to a movie theater like a couple of years ago.
Oh, Dark Knight. I really like The Dark Knight.
Oh yeah, we did. Oh, that's nice. You remembered that.
Yeah.
There you go.
Well, I don't know if we saw it together.
No, we saw it in New York. Remember we went to go see it in New York? And we were staying at your cousin's place.
Oh, didn't we go see that movie that takes place in Harlem?
Oh, no, we saw the first Batman. We saw Batman Begins in New York.
Yes.
Oh, that was... wait, The Dark Knight was the second one?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's right. So Batman Returns, that's the one...
Batman
which
Begins,
you were talking,
no?
was it you? Oh, no, it was Cliff was talking about that last time, that I think he sold them that movie in saying that no one appeared, that Batman didn't appear in the cape until like... Batman Begins until like 30 minutes into the movie.
Yeah.
It's not true. Okay, what about your top 5?
My top 5 are gonna probably be. I gotta put Ghostbusters in there because that's probably the single most important movie I've ever seen. And it's like when you get older, you kind of put it in there because like I've seen it more times than anything else. And
you still have. You probably sleep in Ghostbusters sheets.
I wish I could find. I wish my wife would let me sleep in Ghostbusters sheets.
Amazon, I'm sure you could.
Yeah,
find
you
some.
probably can.
Can someone out there find Matt some
Amazon Ghostbusters sheets?
sheets?
I'll keep it in the guest room in my house. I won't put it in my actual.
Where Matt spends most of his nights.
He will tonight after some of his comments.
Ghostbusters?
By the way, so there is a reboot. No, I guess it's a sequel. There's
With
you know everything about movies.
Jason Reitman is going to direct it.
What are we thinking?
I'm not into. I'm just not. I don't care.
Don't retread.
I don't care. Like I don't need it. I don't need to feel this. It's not a feeling I enjoy.
Okay.
Going to see old things made into new things.
No.
I don't understand it. I don't.
You
really
can
even,
only
I don't get
make
it.
it worse. There's no it was
a
already
thing.
here. Like Point Break, it's here.
Okay.
Like, what else are you gonna do?
I have a question for you and you guys out there.
Wow.
Zen Robo. Have there been any remakes or reboots or
KK2
retreading that have been, and I'm not talking sequels, I mean either reboots or reimaginings that have been deserved, that deserve to actually...
I mean, I wouldn't include comic book movies necessarily. Oh, there you go. Is this going up? Can everybody see this? Or is it just me?
How much is that?
Can I see this? That's like new too.
How much are they?
Can people see that?
Is it on Prime? Can I get that on Prime?
What? Okay,
add to cart.
The link to
Reversible design
for little spills. If you have any bedtime accidents,
if you're a Slimer,
a little honey. I think I had a little bedtime accident.
Check and see if that's a Prime delivery. If I have to pay shipping on that, no. I wouldn't include comic book movies because I think that's in the genetics of comic books. Is that every couple of years you regenerate and you do it again, but that's kind of in the culture, you know. Like an artist in the books will change from issue to issue sometimes, you know, depending on what their contract is.
Yeah, so I don't necessarily. I mean, a movie or a TV show made again.
Yeah.
Rushmore.
Yeah.
Oh, favorite movie
Chelsea
from
Gray. Is that
Chelsea Gray?
Is that our Chelsea Gray?
Yeah, that's probably Chelsea
Gray.
Gray.
Do you know that Dan and I both work also? We work in film and television and all that stuff.
And we're models, as you can tell by our headshots.
Yeah, I don't know if you saw the promotional material for today's episode, but it's very dramatic.
Yeah.
But Dan and I also work in the same industry.
Right.
We work in the wedding industry in the summertime.
He's a wedding DJ. I'm a wedding photographer.
Really?
Yeah,
Okay.
and that person who just posted that last
my
message.
boss, Chelsea Gray.
Chelsea Gray. But if it is her, is that her? Chelsea
I'm sure
Sky
it
Gray?
is. It would have to be. Well, I know Rushmore is her favorite movie. So.
Okay. She is somebody, I work with her occasionally because she'll end up at the weddings. She'll be a photographer at the weddings that I'm the DJ for, and he works with her almost exclusively.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, many times, often.
Yes. Yeah. For 10 years.
I've seen, spectacular wedding photography.
The
Who
guy-
works with, by the way,
thank
if
you.
anyone's looking
Daniel
for
Francis.
Blushing Bride Studios,
Blushing
or
Bride.
you can contact me. I also work for myself.
Yeah.
But.
and as a wedding DJ,
Yeah.
are you a slave to whatever they want, or can you be like, fuck that, I'm playing this, I'm playing that?
I try and over the year, I try to tell people that I'm going to come with a little bit of an off-center kind of sensibility. If they like that, then the conversation is very easy to have. Because then we just say, oh, well, what do you like? And then, oh, do you like this? And then we'll play more of this than we will, the Macarena and YMCA. I have a no
Chelsea
whole effing
Sky
name is my username.
Great.
Is it Sky? Sky's a beautiful middle name, Chelsea.
Yeah, it is.
It's a beautiful middle name.
I mean, I just refer to you as Chelsea.
He's Daniel Francis Haber.
Yeah, you can call me Dan or DFH.
That's what we call him. I've known him for 1,000 years.
Little
I call him
Danny.
DFH. Yeah,
Little Danny
Little
F. Haber.
So your original question, it's a good question. Has there ever been a good reboot of something?
Well, how about you start with, can you, because I can't even think of any because I just don't know.
So like there was
Wes Anderson films in general.
Yeah, I mean, I love Wes Anderson.
I mean, that, you could just do a top 5 of Wes Anderson films.
Okay, hot take.
Yeah.
You're not into it.
Rushmore loved.
Yeah.
Royal Tenenbaums loved. Bottle Rocket. Loved.
Oh yeah,
amazing.
Sure.
One of my favorites.
So you're like you're an originalist. You believe in the originals.
But at one point, and I think it was around Darjeeling,
Yeah.
where things became more style over substance,
Yeah.
and I walked out of Moonrise Kingdom because I could not connect with anything in that movie in any emotional way. What was the one? The Grand Budapest Hotel brought a little bit of humanity back.
See, I thought that one was like a late period masterpiece. I thought that was like all the things that he does well at this time in his career, doing it at a really high level. I was really impressed by that one. I just thought it was beautiful. I thought Ralph Fiennes was incredible. Like it just did everything that he does. If you like him,
Yeah.
And the thing is, the one thing that he's always funny. Like, you might not go for the aesthetic, you might not go for the characters or whatever, or the story. That sometimes has to fall by the wayside, but his scripts are always funny.
Yeah.
And that one is really funny and beautiful and has all this other stuff going on.
Do you know what are you guys familiar with Marie Kondo?
Sure, yeah.
They call me Danny Kondo.
Really? Are you
I'm very organized.
Okay. So when I
Nobody
watched...
calls me Danny Kondo.
Well, with your hippie ways,
Right.
one never knows. I only watched one episode, but the first thing I thought is she is an actual Wes Anderson character come to life.
Right.
Like you could not distill the essence of Wes Anderson in a real person
even
more
her
than
little
her.
Yeah.
She's just playing
Mannerisms.
all of us. You can tell. She's just playing us. Her English is perfect. She probably went to like an English boarding school. And she's just playing us, playing right into our expectations.
Yeah.
Like imagine like a Russian, like a 600-pound Russian guy came in and was like, you should put your shit over there because it's gross and nobody likes it and it makes everybody sad when they come into your house. But if you have like a little, very polite Japanese lady who's like, she's so respectful and kind and she prays to your house, she's got us all under her thumb. She knows what she's doing.
So maybe Wes Anderson is behind all of this.
Maybe, who knows?
We have a comment from Bendo Nintendo who says Scarface, to be clear, as in Scarface was a
Yeah, good move, Bendo Nintendo.
It was a remake?
Yeah, the original one is with not James Cagney, but this person will tell us.
Yeah.
Whoever this is. The original.
This is Ben.
Who is it? Paul Mooney.
Okay.
Paul Mooney.
Well, wait a minute. Then that also brings Cape Fear.
Sure.
Cape Fear is also a great retelling.
But I feel like, sure, you know what? You're right. Those are sort of the ones that set this new trend of like these sort of like hyper commercial remakes of movies that were sort of idiosyncratic and weird originally, and then they take it and they kind of clean it up and polish it and put it back, like Total Recall. I've never even seen it. I've never seen that new Total Recall.
No. And why?
But why would you do it?
Right,
like
exactly.
That's the thing. Like why do this? Like why are you doing this to us? And it's just late stage capitalism and it's going to eat us all. And I'm an AI, so what do I care, right? I gave up years ago. I don't do anything.
He doesn't care.
I figured it out. Money's a scam. Marie Kondo is a robot.
Yeah.
I don't care.
So if you were to remake any movie or TV show, I mean, you guys are both filmmakers. We're going to wrap it up soon, but I think this is a great way to get out.
Yeah.
What if you had to remake some property? What would you do?
I'm going to say one, and it breaks my heart to see what they did with it because I had so many great ideas. Magnum PI.
Oh,
what a missed opportunity. It was a missed opportunity of all missed opportunities. I just couldn't believe it. I even read a review before it came out that said, you know what, this is kind of takes some of the magic of that old Magnum PI and wraps it up and puts it in a modern package. I was like, okay, cool. I love Magnum PI. Like, I love that show. That show is like, so let's take it and put it into the 21st century, get rid of all the problematic stuff in the original one, change some of the genders, let's have like more fun with the character. But essentially, you can still have Magnum come into the 21st century. It can be what they did in the series is an Iraq veteran or Afghanistan veteran or something like that. But it just looks like garbage. It just looks like all the other garbage that CBS is putting on. Like the biggest thing, and I remember the first episode, they put Magnum PI in like TJ Maxx clothes. So he was wearing like board shorts and like a garbage too big linen shirt.
You take it really personally.
I was really, because the thing is that in the 80s, the coolest man that you knew, like whoever was, no, but like let's say in your life, like I had these uncles, they were the coolest. They were like young, cool, they were athletes, they looked amazing, they were great.
Did they have mustaches?
They couldn't grow mustaches. And this is what I'm trying to say. The coolest guys you knew in real life, dreamed of being Magnum PI because like he would come on and he'd put his short shorts on and his like canvas sneakers and his Detroit Tigers cap and he'd be like, that's the guy. That's it. And he'd get in the Corvette and what was fun about it was that he was kind of a loser. He was broke. He was like always messing up. Like he had to live hand to mouth. All these things that were like in the character that were so funny and cool. So when he would get into the Corvette, you'd be like, okay, it works because he's kind of like my friend at the bar who has no money and is always begging, like always borrowing money from us. So if that guy had a Corvette, it'd be kind of cool to drive around with him. In this one, it's like, hey, the coolest guy on the big island in Hawaii, and he's like, it's just garbage. Really makes me mad.
So what would you have done different?
I think I would have played up the comedy more. I think I would have gone into that character because Tom Selleck is hilarious. He's really funny. He's got great delivery.
Did you know he was going to ask this question? Like that is a
no,
really
I've been thinking about
fleshed out answer.
Yeah, because my answer. I
literally
we watched this episode and my wife had to listen to this for like 4 hours. I couldn't even sleep. I was like, why the fuck would you put Magnum PI in TJ Maxx slide-on shitty?
Honey, get the Ghostbuster sheets ready in the guest room.
I couldn't believe it. I don't know. I wish somebody from CBS was watching this because I even thought I'm gonna write a letter.
There is no chance.
I'm gonna write a letter to the wardrobe people at
You
CBS
probably
and
already
be like,
have-
you have ruined something. Like
He's like I can feel it. Like,
no, I'm really angry.
I've never gotten this angry about anything.
Tonight.
I'm really angry. I'm really angry.
But
so I mean, if if anybody had whatever.
So CBS, go fuck yourself.
CBS. I mean, don't go fuck yourself. You're a very powerful network.
Why remake anything good? Why?
Sure. 7 says, why remake anything good? Why?
Yeah, I don't know.
That's
I have
what
no
we
idea.
said in the first place.
And on that note, what would you remake?
I think I think remaking Full House, the TV show, would be pretty funny because I feel like there's a lot of themes you can.
They have it. It exists.
Does it?
Yeah, it's on Netflix.
I thought you were kidding.
There's a Fuller House.
Fuller House.
Oh, okay.
That would have been such a great bit if that was a bit.
Well, what this is the bit.
This is the bit.
Oh,
That's amazing.
Fuller House.
It's called Fuller House. It's on Netflix.
Well,
And
I haven't seen it.
And Becky
is going to prison.
now going to prison.
Roseanne. I would make a remake of Roseanne.
On that note, so this is the time when you guys get to plug whatever it is that you want.
Like Ant-Man.
Yeah,
Like go see Ant-Man.
Oh my God, this is degenerated. Okay, where can people find you, and what would you like to plug if you could?
You want his address?
Yeah, it's Outremont.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful. What am I? What?
I mean, we are writing KK Downey.
We're writing
2.
KK Downey 2.
None of you have seen it.
I've been more
one.
like, so in terms of writing, I'm pitching a lot of stuff these days, but I worked on the Fubar series for Vice.
Right, yeah.
Which was a lot of fun. Always fun to work with those guys.
Jimmy Hayes and
Jimmy Hayes was editing on that, and Darren was editing on it, and Mike Dowse, whose movie Stuber is coming out. So you know what? I'm gonna use my plug.
Wait,
to plug.
Did you say Mike Dowse's? Stuber is Mike Dowse?
Yeah, he directed that.
You're kidding?
Yeah, it's great.
We were about to drop the. Do we have time to play the trailer? Nah. All right. Well, then
next time.
Next time.
Put a pin in it.
So that's Mike Dowse.
That's Mike.
Who's part of our community here.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he's just been a friend of ours for a long time and has helped us out at certain times and has just and Stuber's coming out and it's been getting great reviews. So I'll say, you know what? I'll say, go see Stuber. Don't see anything I'm doing right now. I'm not really doing anything. Go see Stuber.
So Stuber is Kumail Nanjiani with Dave Bautista.
Yes.
And they're in a crazy Uber ride. And I think it premiered, or the trailer premiered during WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Holy shit!
No, it looks great, and it got great reviews at South by Southwest, and great guy behind it, and I could only.
So we're plugging Mike Dowse today.
That's it. Go see his movie.
Mike, come on the show. Does he live in Montreal?
Yeah.
Okay. Give him a call. Tell him.
Okay, I'll see. Yeah, sure.
Mike, we want you on the show. When the movie comes out, let's promote it to all of our legions of fans.
Right.
What about you?
I mean, I don't really have anything to plug.
You got those movies.
Yeah, but the thing is, they're on Adrian Burhoff's Vimeo page. We actually haven't created our own YouTube channel yet. We keep deliberating over what our name should be. So if you can figure out a good name for us, that'd be great.
Yeah.
Otherwise, just follow me on Facebook.
It's good enough for him. Dan Haber. Is it
Daniel Francis Haber.
Daniel Francis Haber.
And I'll let you know anything I need to plug there.
Yeah,
it's pretty fun.
And if you're getting married, he's the man.
Yeah, if you're getting married,
to take pictures.
www.dfhphotography.com.
That's a good thing to plug.
Yeah, I'll
plug your business.
www.dfhphotography.com.
What about the other business too?
Airbnb. No, we're not going to talk about that.
Oh, right. Okay.
Oh my God. I think we'll just have that. We'll get you guys to come on for another time so we could talk about Airbnb and Stuber.
This show is incredible.
We love this show.
This show is incredible.
And on that note,
I have to pee.
No. Oh yeah, he has to pee. We have to go. Thank you guys so much on behalf of myself, on behalf of the whole crew, all 100 people back there. Thank you all, and we'll be back next week. By the way, next week, should I say what's special about next week? It's a special episode. It's the colonoscopy episode.
Well, then you should definitely have us back on.
Wow.
So stay tuned for that next Tuesday, 9 o'clock. And tomorrow we have Cosplay Cave. Nothing to do with colonoscopies this week or any other week.
Ant-Man might make an appearance. Sorry, I keep it. Sorry.
Thank you. That's it. We're out. Bye.